All right, Joshua. You know who else wants to inhibit free speech?
Who?
Karens. Karens want to inhibit free speech. And I am having so much fun with the Karen meme, but the thing that's really pissed me off is people on the left are trying to appropriate the Karen meme what they want it to mean. And freaking my friend that you know who I'm talking about, whose name starts with an S, she called me a Karen over the weekend because I don't want to wear a mask. And I was like, that is not the correct use of the word Karen. And she and I got into a little tiff.
Totally. But can we get the Reader's Digest version just for people?
I'm gonna read this article that I wrote.
Good. Okay.
Which is the ultimate crowdsourced definition of a Karen, to make sure we're all on the same page. I did a video about this the other day, but just in case everyone missed the video, we're going to do a little dramatic reading because it is very important to me. And I know this is a very Karen thing to say, and I'm going to acknowledge that I'm being a little bit of a Karen right now, but it's very important to me that people use the definition of this term correctly. Okay? No appropriating terms and changing definition, leftists. All right, so here is the proper definition of the term Karen. And we're going to do the Karen taxonomic rank first. And so, kingdom, erotica, phylum, gulagia, class, tattletailia, order, hypocrite, family, busybody, genus, home alone, species, Karenus. Overbreeding and a lack of natural predators have caused this once nearly extinct creature to thrive under current conditions. How Karens manifest in the real world, particularly in the era of COVID-19. A Karen is a person who is a killer of fun. They're usually bougie, entitled women who will inevitably ask to speak to the manager should you not conform to the way she expects you to behave. A Karen will not hesitate to call the cops and tattle on neighbors who dare to have a barbecue, and will call you selfish for wanting to protect your freedom while simultaneously trying to impose her wannabe authoritarian view of the world on you. Karens only care about freedom when it comes to their freedom to behave like a Karen. A Karen will endlessly lecture on the virtues of masks and locking down the economy while simultaneously sitting at home collecting a paycheck and not giving a shit about the 100,000 small business owners who have permanently shut down their life's work as a result of fear porn and mass hysteria. Although people identify Karen as a woman due to the distinctive Karen haircut many of them have, do not be fooled. They can also identify as a male or non-binary and still be referred to as a Karen. A Karen is not a gender, nor is it a haircut. Karen is a state of mind. Prominent examples of Karens include Kate Goslin from John and Kate Plus 8, Mika Brzezinski, who we're going to talk about in a second, Alyssa Milano, Michael Rappaport, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter, Jennifer Rubin of the Washington Post, and Brian Stelter of CNN. When Karens congregate. A group of Karens is most often called a complaint. They may also be referred to as a tattle, a privilege, a scold, a gripe, a busybody, a judgment, a Twitter, or the View. And that is the proper definition of the term Karen. What do you think about that, Joshua? Am I clear?
Yes, I think that it's important for people to know, just if they haven't heard of this, that the whole thing is that there's the type of woman who is, as Carlin suggested, is just very into complaining, and she's usually white, she's usually like entitled, and is just, as you had said, trying to ruin everybody's good time. Mm-hmm. I think that it's excellent that this is a thing now. I think it's really, really great, because the thing is that it's important to have Carlins. Excuse me. Sorry. Hold on. It isn't. It's more important.
You better strike that motherfucker and reverse that immediately.
Hold on. So it's important to have Karens for a few different reasons. One is because they do your dirty work for you. If your neighbor is having a way too loud party on a Wednesday night and it's at 2:00 in the morning, you don't have to do anything. You just get to sit back and be like, just expect her, and she's going to handle it for you, and she's going to be the one who calls the police, and she's going to handle it. The other thing is that what this is doing that is so great is that it's keeping us very, very cognizant of not doing stuff like that, like not complaining. I think it's awesome that this is becoming a thing. I think it's ridiculous that, did you hear that somebody, probably a Karen, said that calling someone a Karen nowadays is analogous to the N-word?
Yes, I've heard it. They're trying to say that Karen is a racist term. Yes, it is not a racist term.
It can't even be racist because you can't have racism without power, right?
So no, Joshua, no, we're not buying into social justice bullshit. No, that's bullshit. Hey. Whoever taught you that in Hollywood, see, this is the problem. You live in Hollywood. No, Joshua, I know exactly where you live. I have been in your apartment. You live in Hollywood, and this is exactly the problem.
This is not where I got that from. Wait. I got that back when I was in high school from a nun called Sister Kathy Fleming. Okay.
Well, okay.
Now, this is way back, so she knows her shit. So don't be going against Kathy.
Sister Kathy
is rip you to ribbons.
You know what? Sister Kathy was obviously one of the earliest social justice warriors.
Maybe, I don't know, but
so we're not going. No.
Hey, I can't disagree with Sister Kathy. Can't do it. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Anyway, the fact that somebody would say that using the term Karen is now that's just crazy, but I love it that I get caught on Instagram watching the Karens go wild. Have you seen those? It's like a car crash. You can't like stop watching them. They're
what
so
is your
good.
Favorite Karen video?
I found the one today very upsetting with the dog.
Oh, we're going to talk about that because that's not the whole story, actually. Ooh. That's not the whole story. So what is, because I was very upset about the dog too, like Central Park Karen. I was very, very, very upset about this. Because like, I mean, you know me with dogs. I mean, like, you will not hurt a dog around me. And so I was upset about it. But then what it came out as is, so there was a confrontation before he started rolling the camera. And he was actually being a Karen as well. They were both being Karens in their own Karen way.
Well, and so you're telling somebody to put your dog, what the hell do you care, dude? Like, go away. I'm not saying it wasn't reprehensible, but mind your own fucking business.
Well,
Leave
it's also
alone.
Well, but it wasn't even just that. It wasn't even just that he told her to put the dog on the leash, which I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. But he also said, like, there was a little back and forth where she said no. And he said, well, if you're going to do what you want to do, then I'm going to do what I want to do. And he started trying to call the dog over. And he had treats in his pocket, but she didn't know that he had treats in his pocket. Like, he could have had anything in his pocket. And so she started freaking out. And that's when the camera went on.
Right. And see, this is the thing. I mean, anybody, speaking of Hollywood, with editing, you can do whatever you want. And I'm so sick of seeing these videos that show the middle 20 seconds of something when we're missing the beginning and we're not catching the whole story. I mean, it was pretty clear here. This woman it would seem as if she was acting crazy, unless he did something that was reprehensible before the camera started rolling. But he was the one shooting. So,
I mean, he kind of provoked it. And then he provoked it, and then he called the dog over. And
three sides to every story.
Well, I know, and I'm not taking sides because I think what she did was horrible too. I think what she did was horrible in terms of calling the cops. I think it was horrible in terms of using his race against him, and it was clear what she was trying to do. I think it was horrible.
I can't believe she said that.
Oh, it was like, it was so bad. But then like choking the dog. I mean, both of them were bad. But like, I actually feel really bad about what's happened to her now. I really do. I think it's like the response to her has been completely out of proportion because now she's lost her job. She had to give up the dog. She lost her pet over it.
See, and this is a long time coming. Like, something just doesn't happen to somebody. All of a sudden, they have this one incident in Central Park, and all of a sudden they lose their job, they lose their dog. This was a long time coming. This bitch had it coming.
Wait. You need to stop.
Long time.
Well, you need to stop though. You need to stop though, and you need to explain to people what you mean by that, because I understand what you mean by that. I understand like what you're talking about is we create our reality, we create our experiences. We like in many ways. If something bad happens to us, we need to take responsibility for what we did to cause that bad thing. This is law of attraction. This is like manifestation. conversation.
Right.
But
Right.
the people watching right now don't know what you mean by that. So we need to rewind and you need to explain.
So, like a one-off like this, like if this was just an isolated incident, the repercussions wouldn't be so severe. Because think of it in terms of karma. You help so many people that you have an off day and you become a racist bitch. I think the universe is going to sort of let it slide. But if you have like a history of discriminating against people, of hating people, of using your white privilege to hurt people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then it acts as a crescendo. And then all of a sudden, oh, I lost my job because of this. I lost my dog. No, it's really not because of this one thing. It's a bunch of different things that finally caught up to you. This was the cherry on top of the hot fudge sundae that ruined her life. This wasn't this guy. But besides, it's interesting you say that both of them are Karens because both of them actually have the last name Cooper. I think that's very interesting. I mean, how coincidental could that possibly be? They're both named Cooper? Weird.
Mhm.
So they have, I do agree with you, and I think it's very, very fair to say that there are parallels between both of them. And we only heard his side of the story. We don't know what he said previously, but I think the fact that you're watching birds and you need to tell somebody, like, mind your own business, dude. Watch your birds, leave her and her dog alone. So they're both Karens. I 100% agree.
Yeah, M Sway says karma knows her address, and that's kind of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But what I'm saying is that let's not say, you feeling bad for her. It's not just this one thing that caught up that has resulted in her life being ruined. This is a cumulative effect of who she is that has ruined her life. If somebody has an off day and just says a few offhanded remarks, it wouldn't be blown out of proportion because their good karma, all the good things that they've done will offset it. And your life is not going to get ruined because you were an asshole one day.
Well, I don't know. I still have a lot of sympathy for her. I do. Like, I know what it's like to have like a social media bomb go off in your life, and when it happened to me, like, it was for something good. So I can't even imagine what she's going through right now. And though I can say that, yeah, she probably deserved it, and I agree with you because everything we do creates our experience, and you have to take responsibility for that. That's what part of being an empowered person is. I still think we can have sympathy for someone who is having a tough time. And I hope, you always say like everything can be used to your advantage. I mean, she has an opportunity to bounce back.
Oh, well, not only that, but this frees her up. I mean, if you think about it, the only reason she would psychologically now use her sense of privilege against him is because she feels so disenfranchised. Is she disenfranchised because of her white privilege? No, she's disenfranchised, and she sort of mugs herself of her own power in her life, maybe in a job that she absolutely hates, relationship she doesn't like, etc. So she's actually feels disenfranchised. So they're very much like mirrors to each other if you want to look at it spiritually, in the sense that she's doing to him what she feels has been done to her, even though she's coming from this place of, I have all this white privilege. She might have white privilege, but she's probably not utilizing it in terms of making her life all that it can be. But yes, of course, she can leverage this. It was probably, just tough medicine, to help her out. It will be interesting to see what comes of him from this as well.
I think so too. I think that'll be really interesting.